you should know how to reply to that thread only. You have to reply to that thread only. If you reply to some other, see, this is how you see all people reply to this thread. See, 7 replies. So this is how to reply. See, and you will get the top one, you will get a subject and what subject you are talking. Easily you can understand, right? Otherwise, how do you know which topic? Now, see, I cannot understand here. So what you people did here? See, this is the test case below. You have to reply here only. See, somebody replied already here. See, this is the test case design for below. Task 1 and task 3. These are the 2 things again. Only 3 people replied. So Srihari, Sudhir, only 2 people. Huh? You have to reply here. Manju also replied, but you have to reply here only. In this post only you have to reply. How to reply? See, I'm going to reply for this. So you can react. I can react for this. See, the reaction will go here. So only for this post I'm replying.
Okay.
So you can react. That's what we want. Otherwise, how do we know? You're posting where, here, why? This is not the right approach.
Okay. So to the same thread we need to.
So this is the thread. This is the thread. This is the task for you all, right? On this task only you have to reply. So here, please catch this. This is the crucial. If you are going for any work environment, you should reply to that thread. If somebody is given a task to you, and you want to ask something on that task, you have to reply to that thread. Here is the reply.
Okay.
So I'm going to reply to that thread only. I cannot reply, but so you can reply to that. Okay, you can reply here. I think I can reply. Yeah, I can reply here. This is how you need to reply to that thread only. Otherwise, how do I know? Again, I know. See, and she made a mistake. And why you want to put a special characters before username password? What is the requirement? You didn't read the requirement, Shailaja. And somebody else also, I don't know who has wrote that. Should not contain, that means your password should not contain username, first name, last name. And why are you putting a special character before the first name? So the requirement you have to read. Okay, your password should not contain username, should not contain first name, should not contain last name. That means your password, you should not give any of these 3 things. That's the 3 test cases you have to write.
Okay.
Is this clear for everyone?
Yes, sir. Sure. I sent an email to you.
Not email, madam. This is the one you have to do.
That,
By Slack channel we have.
Sure. I'll do
I
that.
asked you here, paste here. All your task is paste here only. For this thread only you reply. Okay?
Yeah.
That's make practices, good practices. That practices will help you tomorrow if you enter into the any company, right? And if you are not learning here, and one guy joined in recent one of the teams, and I taught here already how to reply to that thread. And the ask is somewhere and he is replying somewhere. How we can correlate with that? What is the answer? I didn't understand what he is replied. For what he is saying, okay, I don't understand. And between that, there are other people also posted the messages. For which one he is replying, okay. How do you understand? Just imagine that. So after the post, one more person post, then he posted. How the above one is the first post is the ask, and he has to reply for that only. I will do that. So he is referring, okay, do this. And after the post 2 is posted. And post 2 after he posted okay. And for which one he is saying okay? Are you understanding what I am saying here?
Got it, sir. Yeah.
Yes.
Then how people will understand? He is saying for okay for what? For post 2 or post 1? How do you know? Post 1 is related to this guy, but he is replying a third post. He is posting another post. That is wrong, right? So where they are asking for that post only you reply. So then all your discussions will be there. You should not start another post. That's not the practice in the Slack channel or Teams, anything. So if somebody is asking, reply to that message only. So that it will be easy for the people to understand for which message you are replying. These are the points you have to take care. Otherwise, it's a difficult, okay? Okay.
Thank you for sharing the screen and explaining us, sir.
Yeah, no problem. So let's move on to the next. So we completed till now boundary value analysis, equivalence class partitioning. And now we need to understand decision table testing. So decision table testing is, so basically you will use a combination of inputs are there. Many inputs are there. Many conditions are there. Such cases, you will use this decision table testing. I have shown you already last class. So one of the person asked Sushil. And that decision table testing, where the input fields are there, you cannot use this. If there is a different conditions are there, how to use? If different conditions are there, how to use? That is the one handled by this decision table testing. And decision table testing, how many test cases you can generate with the decision table testing is 2 to the power of number of conditions. That's a formula. How many test cases you can generate for number of conditions. So you do the 2 to the power of number of conditions. So that many test cases you can generate. So for the entire scenario or entire page, that's the decision table testing means. Basically, boundary value analysis and equivalence class partitioning is only for the input field only, where the data you will enter. But some cases you don't have a input field, right? You have a combination of data. So such cases you will go for the decision table testing. Like, so you have Amazon, just take Amazon. You search some iPhone. See, left side you will get a lot of conditions. So this is the condition, free shipping eligible. And this is one condition, this is one condition, this is another condition, department is another condition, brands is another condition, customer reviews another condition, cell phone price is another condition. So these are all different conditions. These different conditions you are going to test. Again, this you can apply the boundary value analysis here, minimum, maximum. Right? This is the boundary value analysis you can apply here. And see, these are all conditions. Here, no edit boxes, right? No edit boxes. To design multiple test cases, this is the scenarios you will use a decision table testing. Basically, decision table testing, what it will do is the business logic will be tested very recursively, because multiple conditions you are joining. And condition 1, for example, you want a result, search results, cellular phone item weight and cellular phone carrier and electronics device model year and phone color. These are all and you are adding. That means the logic you are developing with the conditions, number of conditions you are adding, that time you will use this decision table testing. So, and decision table testing is a technique used to test the system behavior for different input combinations. So when you will use, if there are different input combinations are there, then you will use this. And how you will represent this? This basically in the table format, you will capture the roles. So you will capture the roles in the true, false combination you will write. So then all are and you have to use. True and false. False you will get. False and true. False you will get. True and true. Condition 1 is true. Condition 2 is false. Like that you can generate the test cases, combinations, multiple combinations you can write. That is called a decision table. This decision table testing mainly focuses on the business logic area. Business logic area it will test. So if you take this one, say this is the condition 1, condition 2. So now how many row test cases you can generate for this? 2 to the power of 2. So these are the two conditions. That's why 2. Username is one condition, password is another condition. So that's why 4 test cases you can generate on this. Rule 1, rule 2, rule 3, rule 4. So rule 1 is first username, password, both are so false and false. Rule 2 is true, false. False and true. True, true. See, this is the condition 1, you are giving a true, and condition 2 also you are giving a true. So then what is the output? You should navigate to home page. If you give this invalid and you give it a valid, and it should throw error message. If you give this as a true and this is the false, you will give output as a error. So you give as a invalid and invalid, you will get error message. So this is the combinations you will prepare. How you are preparing? See, 2 to the power of number of conditions. Condition 1 is username, condition 2 is your password. So 2 to the power of 2 means how many rules? 4 rules.
4 rules.
So that you got it. So this is how you will prepare a tabular format, your rules. So this is the how test cases are generated. So this is the decision table testing means. So what is the decision table testing? When you can apply here also, same combination. So here you will get a lot of test cases here, right? So many test cases. Number of conditions, you 2 to the power of number of conditions, that many will give you test cases for this combination of, right? Is it clear? See, username and password both were wrong. Then user should throw error message. The user is shown an error message. Username was correct, but the password was wrong. The user is shown an error message. Username was wrong, but the password was correct. The user is shown an error message. Username and password both are incorrect, correct. So then user is navigated to home page. So both are true, you will get a true only. True means it will move to next page. That's the how we will write a test cases. Next is state. Any questions before moving on to the next one?
No, sir. It's clear.
Okay. State transition testing. State transition testing means basically state means particular page or particular place where you are in the transition means moving, right? From one place to other place, moving, right? So you are moving from one page to other page means that is the transition takes place. When the transition takes place, when the transition takes place, generally
when we click on a link or
When
some
we
button.
perform actions.
generally when you perform actions, you can say, right? Simply, right? So any state, how it will change for any field, when you do action on that field, right? Not only click, right? If you type, if you check. So all this different state, when it will change, when you perform the action on that page or on that element, particular element, the page will transition. Screen will move. If you do action only, screen will move, right? Otherwise it won't move. So that state is transitioning. So that state transition testing is nothing but a one position where then you perform the action on that state and it will move to next state. And there you do another action, then it will move to next state. So that's how it will go. State transition testing means. Let's take a simple example of withdrawal of ATM PIN number entry. Right, first what you will do, you'll insert the card. So that is one. Action is inserting the card. First ATM will be one screen, welcome screen. That's a state. You're doing a action. Inserting the card is the action. Then what will happen? It will ask you, select the language or select the enter pin or something, right? It will change the state. So the action, the state is changed. Wait for pin. Then action is entering the pin. So in the first try, if you give the correct pin, you will get access to your account. Right? Maybe in between that, before entering pin, you have a checking account or savings account, something like that, right? You have to choose that. All that multiple screens means action when you do, it will move the page. So that's the same state transition. Each circle is one state. Then how you're moving to next state? By doing action. How you're moving for this state to this state? You're doing action. That's why it is moving. So that is the state transition testing means. Suppose you observe here, if you give a correct pin and you'll get access to your account. If you don't give a correct pin first time, it will ask you second time, please enter correct pin. If you give a second, another case, then here every state has two cases here. See, entering the correct pin, entering the wrong pin. So we have to try both. That's the possible cases here, right? And every state. All the possible cases you have to write. Okay. And second attempt also, you have given correct pin and you will get access to this state. And if you don't give correct pin, again, it will ask for the third time, please enter valid pin. It will ask you. Then what will happen is, it will go to the third time also, there is two options, entering the correct pin, entering the wrong pin. If you enter correct pin, you will get access to this one. If you enter a wrong pin, your card will be blocked. Right? Multiple attempts if you try, they will block it. So this is the state transition means. So here I have given some, what is mean by a state. State is a software may occupy, so like a page or a screen, like in your mobile screen or ATM center, it's a screen, right? Screen is nothing but a page only. And in a web application, you can say the state means a page. So the page in which state. The transition means from one state to another state, it is going to move. That's a transition. One state to another state, if it is moving, that's a transition. So events that cause a transition. So events means actions. Events means actions. That events cause the transition. So the actions that result from a transition. That's what events are actions. These are all in the same. Okay, when you do the action, so the transition takes place. So that's what I have shown you here. And so this is called a state transition test. These are all the combinations I have explained you here. So these are the test cases, you can just look at that. First test case should be very much sensible to enter the correct pin at the first time. The second test should be to enter the incorrect pin each time so that system rejects the card. So then to test all transitions, firstly do the testing where the pin was incorrect the first time, but okay, a second time, and another test where the pin was correct on the third try. So these are the different combinations I told you. Try all the combinations. So this is the basic test cases you can write, but you can write more than this also, right? So many other fields also will be there. You have to validate each and every field. So cancel button will be there, next button will be there, right? So all you have to validate them one by one. So you will enter a valid flow from first screen to last screen. That's an end-to-end scenario. So successfully withdrawing the money is a one successful end-to-end test case. So in that, so many steps are there, right? That's an end-to-end test scenario means beginning to till end. So that's one end-to-end scenario. End-to-end scenario means inserting the card, selecting the account type, so then selecting the, entering the PIN, choosing the amount, how much you want, and you want a receipt or not. So all then finally you'll get the amount is taken back and take the card back. All this will be one complete flow. That's an end-to-end scenario. Okay, but again, testing each page is different. That's I told you already, component testing, right? So each page is one component. That component test cases you can do that. And when you join page to page, when you join, that's integration testing. The data flow is happening or not. So that's the different cases. You can follow that while testing the any pages. And any questions before going for the last one? So next one is, I'm considering no questions for me, then move on to the error guessing. So error guessing, basically you are going to have already previous experience, prior experience on testing the applications. You got the bugs in the previous testing, in your testing. Now that testing, same techniques you can apply now in your current application testing. So there you got for, you have given some input. That input you can try here also. That means your previous experience, a skill set you are using in testing this application also. Because there you got the bug there. And you try here also with the same skill, same experience. You apply here. If you're getting the bug, then that is, okay. So that's going to be, now you are using your previous testing experience to catch the bugs. That's error guessing. You are guessing the error based on your previous experience and catching the bugs is called error guessing. This is one of the technique. So basically the success of this error guessing is very much dependent on the tester experience, previous experience. It depends on the tester previous experience. Okay, whatever the actions you have done, you remember them and try to implement them here. That's called error guessing. Other than that, nothing. And here, no, so any rules, thumb rules like boundary value analysis and decision table testing, there is no thumb rules here. Just your previous experience you are applying here in your current application testing. Maybe whatever the methodologies, whatever the process you use it there, that you are trying to implement here. That's the error guessing means. That's all about black box testing techniques. So what are the black box testing techniques? Equivalence, class partitioning, ECP we call that, right? Equivalence class partitioning. And second one, BVA, boundary value analysis. And third one, decision table testing. And fourth one is state transition testing. and last one is error guessing. These are the all black box testing techniques. Then any questions before moving on to the white box testing techniques?
No, sir.
No.
Okay, move on. So black box testing is basically a functional testing, UI testing. Whatever you are appearing on the UI, you are doing actions and observation. Basically, more observation is important. How application is moving, how application is doing. So if you do what action, if you do, what is the output it is giving? You have to be very carefully, keenly how to watch. That's a very, very important. While testing, you have to be very keenly watch that, observe the application behavior. Every screen you observe what is the input you have given, how it is behaving. So that is the crucial here. And so we have white box testing. So what is meant by white box testing? White box testing is nothing but, so you should have a knowledge on code, programming language, internal logic of the application. You should have an internal logic knowledge. That means coding knowledge. If you want to do white box testing, you must have any programming language knowledge. Then only you can do white box testing. Otherwise, you cannot do that. So tests are basically the code blocks like conditional statements, branches, paths, and decisions. Different decisions we have, right? While loop, for each loop, all these decisions, and if condition, if else condition, nested if else, and also switch cases. So these are all decisions, how the cursor is moving, in which path it is going. All this paths you are going to verify in the white box testing. So that's a structural testing also we call this, or glass box testing also we call this. What is the other names we have for this white box testing? Glass box testing, structural testing, white box testing. These are the different names. See, basically you are covering inside what is there. That one you are testing, not the external one. You are testing inside the code you are testing. So you know the code, what is that code and what are the conditions are there, what are the decisions are there, what paths, what branches are there. You know everything. In and out of the code you know. That is called white box testing. Okay. So see here simple examples I give. A car mechanic should know the internal structure of the car engine to repair it. But the functional user, who is the functional user of this car? Can you tell me? You're all using cars, right?
Driver.
Driver. Yeah.
Driver. Who is the one using the car, right? He is the one black box tester. He is the one black box tester. But the mechanic is the white box tester. Because he knows in and out, right? All the design internal part he knows. If any problems comes, he will fix it. So that's the clear examples for this. Okay. White box testing and black box testing. So here, the one who is using the car is a black box tester. The one, when the problem comes, he fixes all the issues in the internal parts, he is the mechanic. That he is a white box tester. So basically in our software terminology, you can say a functional tester is a black box tester. A developer is a white box tester. Or a automation tester is a white box tester. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Who is performing the functional testing? Functional testing means only on the UI, right? On the UI only you are going to do. You will enter the data, you will see whether the error messages are displaying or not, and the valid data means it is moving to next pages or not. Always checking the checkboxes or not, selecting the radio buttons or not. You are able to select the proper option from drop down or not. You'll see all this, right? This is the functional UI testing. Front end testing also we call this. That's a black box tester. He is using the application. That's a functional tester, a black box tester. Black box tester and functional tester both are same. Okay, don't confuse again. So, and as an automation tester, you know the in and out, how to write the code, how to test that particular path. So that he is a even developer also a white box tester. So why do you need white box testing? So to test all the independent paths in the module, you in the different components or in the modules, you need this white box testing. All logical decisions, if you want to verify whether true or false conditions, and you need a white box testing. All loops executed at least once at their boundary conditions, then you need this white box testing. So need of white box testing is, so logical errors you can catch in this white box testing easily, because they will miss that conditions. So logicals and all those things, they will miss that logical errors you can catch with this white box testing. So the design errors due to difference between logical flow of the program and the actual implementation, you will use this white box testing technique. So typographical errors and syntax checking, you will use this white box testing technique. Okay, so these are all the so basic. And what skills you require for a white box?
What is a typographical errors?
Typo
So,
error.
syntax checking, syntaxes, any code check, code syntaxes, right? You're writing all the methods, syntaxes, or anything, or if conditions, loops, any syntaxes, or maybe some brackets are missing. Those are all the so syntax checking and typographical errors. Okay, those things you can catch here with this thing. And also the declaration, variable declaration also, this is what variable declarations and those things and syntax issues, all this will be caught in the white box testing. So what skills you required for performing this white box testing? So you need at least one programming language knowledge and logic implementation. Arithmetical, basically reasoning and arithmetics. You should know mathematics, basic mathematics. All we will learn in the till 5th class, right? Those are the basic arithmetics or till 10th class. You will learn mathematics, right? And basic aptitude, you can say that, right? Those things you will need, and also programming knowledge. Programming knowledge is mandatory. Who doesn't have a proper aptitude techniques, logics, building the logics and thinking, logical thinking, and also the basics of mathematics. If you don't know, it doesn't work out. The programming knowledge you cannot learn. So those are all we know already. The basics you are teaching to your kids also, right? And also we learned already them in the initial or education. Or by the time you can improve this aptitude, logical thinking by doing some practice, right? All those divisions, multiplications, multiple expressions, and all this we know already. Those things only you'll use in the programming language. How to solve the problem. To solve the problem, step by step, what you need to do. That you should know. Then only program will be solved. That logic you can implement if you know this aptitude, arithmetics, logical thinking. Otherwise, it is not possible to learn the programming down. So first of all, you have to think, okay, how to solve. You all know in the 10th class, we used to solve bigger programs. The same here. Then you write in the coding format, how you are solving that. That's it. Other than that, nothing. So in this, we have so many techniques are there. Structure testing or basis path testing, basically paths. So when particular condition is true, how the flow is growing. You will write a graphical flow, right? So in our blog, we have, if you go to control structures. If you go to control structures, you can find that graphical representation I have shown you very clearly. Control structures. So this is the one control structure. So the graphical flow means, okay, if this condition is true, it will go to this path. This is the path. This is the one path. If condition is false, it will choose this path. This is called path testing, basis path testing. Basic path you are checking. This is the one path, this is the another path. Two paths here. So that paths, all the paths you are going or not, you will write a code. That's a basis path testing and structure testing. So this method analyzes the control flow graph of program to find a set of linearly independent paths of the execution. You are executing. This is the one execution path. This is another execution path. So that's so structure testing, basis path testing means. And here statement coverage. So statement means simple lines of code like a system.out.println or some lines of code you're writing, right? That how many lines of code is covered by your automation test. So developer will write the code, okay? That code you are testing. Okay, that code while testing, you are covering all the lines of code. That is what this statement. How many statements you covered in the code, application code by your automation test case? That is what this statement coverage means. So that means how you will get a statement coverage? Number of statements are executed by your automation test case divided by total number of statements in the application. That is called statement coverage. If you do multiply by 100, you will get that. Then decision coverage. What are the decisions? If condition, while loop, do while loop, for loop, these are all the decisions, right? If conditions, all these are decisions. Those decisions, how many decisions are there in your code? How many you executed divided by total number of decision outcomes. Multiply by 100. If you do, you will get a decision coverage. So are you executing all the loops, conditions or not? This, sir, how we can do manually? You don't need to do manually. You will write the automation test case, right? That will execute, and there is a tools to calculate this white box testing efficiency. That is called code coverage, we call that. Code coverage. Okay, your automation test case, when you run on the application, how much code is executed, it will give a report to you. Those tools I'm going to introduce in few minutes, next few minutes, okay? So path coverage. So how many paths you are covering with your automation test case? That will be explained by this path coverage. And introduction to code coverage. What is meant by code coverage? Code coverage is a metric for every automation test suite. There will be a code coverage metric. So code coverage metric helps you to understand how much of your source code is tested by your automation test case. It's a very useful metric that can help you to assess the quality of your test suite. That means quality of your automation test case is measured by code coverage metric. Whether you have written an effective automation test case or not. How can you validate that? So this code coverage metric will tell you that. So how code coverage is calculated? So code coverage will calculate, it will tell function coverage. Function means what? Methods. How many methods you called? So developer will write a functions, right? Developer will write a functions or methods. How many methods you covered in your automation test case? How many methods are executed? So how many methods you are calling? So that is the function coverage will give you one field. In the code coverage metric, this is one of the field, you will get a how many functions you covered, you executed, you called, and total number of functions in the entire application. That will give you the percentage it will give. Statement coverage, how many statements in the program have been executed. So any statements are skipped, it will catch easily. I'll show you below. Branches coverage, how many branches it is covering. How many branches of the control structure, if statements, for instance, for example, have been executed. Condition coverage, how many of the Boolean sub expressions have been tested for a true and false value. Line coverage, how many lines of source code have been tested. So that will be, tested here. So this is all, these parameters will be there in your code coverage report. All code related, right? This everything code related, right? And everything will be, you will get a report automatically by tools, not by you. We cannot count a number of lines, a number of conditions, all this number of functions are there. There are some tools. What are those tools? Let me give you the tools. We have a tools for the JavaScript. We have a simple tool, Istanbul. This is the one tool. So it will give you function coverage and branch coverage, how much is. You can see that, this report. Can you see this? Statements, 83.33%, 5 by 6. That means total 6 statements are there, 5 only executed. Branches, 50%. 2 branches are there, but 1 only executed. Functions, 100%, 1 function only there. Lines, so 83.33. That means 6 lines are there, only 5 executed. 1 line is not executed. So you will get a report like this. When you automatically, it will call this. Okay. So it will call, and this is for a JavaScript, but what is for Java? For Java, we have a very clear, so you will get a report like this. So everything report you will get, statement coverage, branches coverage, functions coverage, lines coverage, everything detailed report you will get like this. If anything is not covered, and you will get a report. And see here, for Java, you have a Jacaco, Covertura, Atlassian Clover, and JavaScript, you have Istanbul, Blanket.js, PHP unit for PHP programming, Python for coverage.py, Ruby, Simple Code. So these are all the different code coverage tools automatically added into our repo, basically repository, our code, our application code. These tools will be included automatically. So that will give you the code coverage for you. Clear? How you are going to get a code coverage? Tools will give you. What tools will give you? Number of lines covered, number of statement executed, number of functions executed, number of conditions, decisions are executed. Those things will be given to you. Okay, that's like this. See here in red color, these lines are not covered. So it will give you like this. The green one is covered, executed. So that red color one is not executed. This is how you will get a report. So, but then you have to change your test data or your number of steps you have to increase in your automation test case. Clear? Any questions here?
So single tool will cover all the.
Yes. Yes. Not for all, based on your application. You won't use all programming language to develop the application, madam.
Yeah, not the programming language,
Java,
but all the conditions what we require, like all the
okay.
lines.
Yeah, everything one tool will give.
Perfect.
So this all inbuilt in the your application code. So they will add this plugin. Just a plugin they will add. Automatically you will get these reports. Whenever you run the automation suite, you will get the report. And they will also write unit test cases. That unit test cases also it will cover.
Sir,
Hmm?
can you please tell me what is plugin? Plugins.
Plugin is nothing but an extension, madam. Just adding the Maven for Jenkins, Maven is a plugin. Git is a plugin. So that a tool inside you have same these tools whatever I mentioned. that tools they will add like a library. So you will add dependency, we will add, right? Basically dependency will be there for all this. They will add that dependency in the code.
Okay, sir.
Any questions? And last one. So this is all you go through that. I already explained. I don't want to again. Greybox testing. So let's finish this. Then we'll start the greybox. The last one. Then tomorrow we'll see. Tomorrow you want to break, huh?
Yes, Ramesh.
Okay. So fine. Greybox testing is nothing but who is having Blackbox and Whitebox testing knowledge, skill set. That is called greybox testing. So who is having both functional testing and automation testing knowledge? Those testers are called greybox testers. Okay, that's it. So that's all testing techniques, guys. And we'll see now next week test case design. See, next topic also test case design. So we'll see how to design the test cases. I'll explain that next week. Next week or Monday also we have a